I want to be truthful here and say that what I hear and have heard from myself isn't just simply self-criticism. I actually think it's more self-abuse, and I realise that for many people that could sound like a very harsh way of looking at it. But when I say self-abuse, let's put it this way. Let's keep it in the softer term of self-criticism, where people are saying, I can't do this, I won't do it, I won't get it wrong, I'm so useless, I'm a failure, I'm not as good as, I'm not intelligent, I'm not good enough, I'm an idiot, I'm a fool, I'm ugly. I've said before, I'll say many times again, my stock phrase was to myself internally, never said it out loud, was that I was a fat, ugly, stupid, useless cow. That's their strong words, a fat, ugly, stupid, useless cow. So not only was I berating my external physical appearance, but I was telling myself that whatever was going on up here, that wasn't good enough. And not only that, in society, in the worldview, I was useless anyway. That's harsh. I don't believe that that's just a simple bit of criticism. That was abuse. Now, let's be honest. If you heard me talking to a child, let's say a child of about 5, 6, 7 years old, if you heard me talking to a child and saying to them that they are, you're a fat, ugly, stupid, useless little cow, what would you do as that adult? What would you do, honestly, if you heard an adult talking to a child in that way, or any of the other ways that we've told you're not good enough, you're an idiot, you're stupid, you're ridiculous, you always get it wrong, you're a failure, blah, blah, blah. What genuinely, authentically, honestly would you do? Now, I've asked this to clients, I've asked this in workshops, I've asked this when I'm doing talks, and every single time people say the same thing, which is they would intervene in some way, shape or form. They would intervene. And I say, when I ask why would you intervene? If an adult was speaking to a child in that way, why would you intervene? And everyone says the same thing or along the same lines, which is that's abusive, that's rude, that's harsh, that's unkind, that's uncaring. And yet, how many of us speak to ourselves like that, honestly? How many of us tell ourselves, not just on a day-to-day basis, but on a moment-by-moment basis, how wrong, how idiotic, how ugly, how fat, how worthless, how stupid, how ridiculous we are? Be honest with yourself. Now, we know in this experience, if we're talking about it of watching an adult talk to a child in that way, that we wouldn't let that happen. We would intervene. And yet we are so compliant or ignorant, or I think compliant is probably the best word, with that internal dialogue. And my question is for you to think about, honestly, when you talk to yourself in that way, or rather when you think those thoughts in that way about you, how do you feel? What impact does that have on you? Do you have the impact of that you feel that you can do things, that you are inspired, that you feel confident, that you are motivated, that you feel loved, that you feel worthy? My assumption is, and again, I'm not just basing this on my own experience, I'm basing this on the feedback I've had from the workshops, the talks, all the people, the thousands of people now that I've worked with over the last decade or more, is that they all say the same thing, that actually it stops them from doing the things that they want to do. It prevents them from feeling able. In simple terms, it prevents them from feeling able to at least have a go. And I will reiterate, if you heard an adult speaking to a child in that way, you would probably intervene. And my guess is you would probably take that child aside and support them in some way. You would probably give them some words of encouragement, some words of support, and you would either chastise that adult or actually go, hey, what's going on? What's going on for you that you feel the need to speak to that person in that way? And I would offer you that process to start doing for yourself, to not accept anymore, to make it unacceptable to put yourself down.